Alright, so yesterday we seen the police announce that they had made 3 arrests in the Julio Foolio case and that 2 people were still on the run. Well, late last night, they actually caught another one of them 2 suspects that were on the run, leaving only one of them free. So today, we're gonna take a look at everything we know so far about the killers, their link to Julio, why they might have done this, and we're gonna break it all down. So the first 3 people that were arrested was Isaiah Chance, Alicia Andrews, and Sean Gathright. They were apprehended pretty quickly, but 2 people remained on the run. That was Rashad Murphy and Davion Murphy. Now, Rashad has since been apprehended, leaving only Davion out there in the world. But real quick, I do want to touch on something. I see a lot of blogs posting and a narrative that I kind of see them running with, and that was that Youngin Ace and ATK didn't have nothing to do with this. Bro, I need to reiterate to y'all, the police 100% said that ATK and 1200 was responsible for this murder. Now, I had people in my comments talking about, no, he got up there and he said that they didn't have an active investigation on Young and Ace. Bruh, that was the Jacksonville police that said that. He got up there and said, we, as in Jacksonville, don't have an investigation into Young and Ace at this moment. But the Tampa Police Department, which is where Julio's murder happened, got up there and said 100% ATK and 1200 was responsible for this. I wanted to clear that up because I keep seeing people run with the narrative that they weren't, when the police specifically said that they were. I mean, it's not confusing. Jacksonville doesn't have an investigation into ATK and Young and Ace. Tampa does. I don't know why bloggers are failing to understand that.
Furthermore, it was found that the shooters are members of or affiliated with rival gangs of Jones that go by ATK and 1200. Jones was part of the 6 Block gang. Detectives believe that the ATK and the 1200 worked together to target Jones as part of an ongoing feud in Jacksonville.
Like I said, that's not hard to understand. So all the bloggers that keep saying ATK ain't have nothing to do with it, they're not investigating Young and Ace and his crew because of it, bro. Y'all need to stop. That man clearly said ATK was responsible. All right. And for the people that said, oh, but the other police officer said that they didn't have nothing ongoing as far as an investigation regarding Young and Ace, bro. Again, that was the Jacksonville police. This happened in Tampa. Jacksonville might not have an open case, but Tampa definitely does.
So our investigation's still ongoing, and Sheriff, if you have any other details that you want to speak onto that.
So good afternoon, I'm TK Waters, Sheriff of Duval County, Jacksonville, Florida. So Young and Ace has long been known in Jacksonville. We are consistently monitoring those groups. We have people that are always watching them. I won't speak to the chief's investigation, that's up to TPD. We don't have an investigation on him right now, but he can't move around in Jacksonville without us knowing about it.
So there you go. We can cut it with that Young and Ace ain't involved or responsible for it narrative everybody been running with, because these are 2 completely different jurisdictions. Just because Jacksonville don't have an investigation into Young and Ace don't mean Tampa don't. But what we do know is that Young and Ace wasn't on the scene. He wasn't one of the trigger men, right? We know that because they released the names and info of the 5 people who were actually involved in this, and Young and Ace wasn't one of them. However, we did see the prosecutor say that just because you weren't on the scene doesn't mean you can't be held accountable. She said that if she finds out anybody was involved in the planning of or the plotting of the murder of Julio Foolio, that she was going to charge them and prosecute them. So Young and Ace ain't necessarily safe. With all that said, let's go ahead and get into what we know about the actual shooters and people that were involved and what their motive might have been. Now, for the first person, we got Isaiah Chance, who is also a rapper that goes under the name Gutta Zay or Gutta Man. saying? Right? And he's a known affiliate of ATK. People are saying at some point he was ATK or NHG, but he's kind of like a flip-flopper, so he goes back and forth between them and other gangs. And currently he is a member of 1200. Now we also got Rashad Murphy and Davion Murphy. Rashad also goes by Ghost, and both of these guys are also known 1200 members. So it's clear that 1200 is the group that is at least responsible for pulling the trigger. So let's take a look at Isaiah, better known as Gutta Zay. He's the rapper involved in this situation, and him and Julio Foolio had some back and forth in the past, and it all stems around the incident that Youngin Ace was a victim of back in 2018, where him, his little brother, two other people, they go out to eat for their homie's birthday, and when it's all said and done, somebody pulls up, sprays up the car. 3 of the people in the car died. The only survivor was Youngin Ace, and one of the dudes that died was a guy named 2-3. Now if you've been tapped into this situation, you know 2-3 is somebody that Julio Foolio has dissed numerous times, like on arguably his biggest record, When I See You, which was a direct diss to Youngin Ace and 23. And when this whole situation went down, Gutta Zay essentially promised to take Julio out at some point, because after the incident with 2-3 and Youngin Ace, Julio Foolio and another rapper named Jake Jit actually went to the gravesite and shot a music video for a diss song.
Years passed, his cousin teaching him the game, and Youngin started touching pay and to earn himself a name. Youngin ain't going, he walking around with some flame shells hotter than the bitch appears through a brain.
Now, when Gutta Zay seen this at the time, it made him angry to see them shooting this music video and taking pictures at this gravesite. So he posted this up on his IG that said, "The biggest mistake anyone on earth could have made." And it's got the picture of them at the gravesite. Essentially, he's saying this was the worst thing that you could have done, was go to this gravesite and do this. Essentially implying that there would be some type of retribution. And he would be right, because not long after this, Jake Jit was shot while he was on the highway, lost control of his vehicle, crashed it, and died. And people are saying that this music video, this song, this is the reason why Gutta Zay would have wanted to take Julio out, or at least that's what the streets are saying. So that's the story with Gutta Zay. Now we got these other 2 guys, the Murphys, Rashad Murphy, better known as Ghost, and Davion Murphy. And remember, both of these guys are members of 1200. Well, the reason that they may have wanted to take Julio out was in retaliation for the death of a guy named Gerard Adams, better known as 1200 Spaz. And 1200 Spaz was shot and killed at a high school football game in Jacksonville about 5 years ago. And at the time, they said that they knew it was gang related. And just think about how crazy that is. This dude died at a high school football game. Anyways, it didn't take long for somebody to be arrested for this, and that person was a guy named Kenny Caps from 6 Block, which, if you don't know, Julio Foolio infamously represented 6 Block, and him and Kenny Caps were connected. They was homies, they was real tight, and Kenny Caps actually ended up having to fight this case for over 5 years in the court system before ultimately pleading down to amended charges, because he was initially charged with M2 and 2 counts of attempted murder, and he was ultimately convicted of manslaughter. And the reason why his charges were amended and basically made lesser is because the witnesses in this case were too scared to come to court.
Now, surprisingly, this case took a turn. The 2 witnesses, they tried to interview these people, and they didn't show up like that. Because I mean, these people could have threw you like. All they really wanted was some key words from these people, and the case would have probably went the other way. When you received the news that the witnesses didn't show up, I mean, do you remember where you were at when your lawyer told you that these witnesses they're not cooperating?
I was in I was incarcerated, so I was in my cell. But like I can say, like I was thankful for God. This what I need. This my freedom on the line. So just patience and a lot of praying, a lot of faith.
Now, fresh home from jail, Kenny Caps will start going on his media tour, giving interviews to people like we just watched, Say Cheese, and he even appeared with Julio during Julio's last No Jumper interview, sitting right beside him, further solidifying their connection. And Julio would even diss Spaz on songs, like in his Beatbox remix song, where he said Prosper got shot, Tay got shot, Desi got dropped, Nate got popped, Leaky got shot, Spaz face hot, and it was lyrics like these that had these guys hot. But there was more on top of that, because somebody went to Gerard Adams' grave and did the unthinkable. They literally peed on it, and they recorded it, and they posted the clip online. And when this clip came out, a lot of people were accusing Julio Foolio of being the person who did this. Although there was never no factual proof it was him, people still thought that it was.
Mother is outraged after someone's recorded urinating on her son's grave. News4Jax has obtained this video of the vandalism. The suspect is also seen knocking down the decorations and heard saying derogatory things. The grave belongs to Joe Rod Adams. His mother says he was shot and killed at a Rains versus Lee High School football game in 2018.
I closed myself up in the house since his death. My family haven't been the same. That hurts.
Now, how does all of this tie back to Julio's death and the Murphy guys? Well, it's simple. Rashad Murphy was Jared Adams' brother. Davion Murphy was his cousin. So they were related. And people are saying this is the reason why they want to get back on Julio. It's why they went so hard taking him out. So for the people involved, there wasn't just one reason they wanted to take him out. There was two, because the Murphy family wanted to take Julio out as retribution for Gerard Adams. Good as they wanted to take Julio out because of the situation with 2-3. So that's those three guys covered. Now the next person we're gonna hit on is the female that was involved in this, and her name is Alicia Andrews. And apparently the Murphys recruited her to essentially infiltrate Julio's circle, get close to him, and then send them his location throughout the night that he was celebrating his birthday. And if y'all remember, Julio didn't make it hard to know where he was at. He was dropping his location throughout the entire night.
The pool party start the day at 5, 6 o'clock. If you already got the address, pull up, man. You got the address, pull up. If you need the address, DM me right now. The pool party start at 5, 6 o'clock. DM me for the address, or DM Foolio booking ESPN. I'm gonna put it right here. We just got here, bruh. You got to add it. You got to add it, man. Push up. We just got to this bit. Tampa, Florida, man. You already got to add it to the pool party. Push up at 5:30, man. Push up at 5:30, man. We finna get everything right. Push up at 5:30, 6 o'clock, man. It's up. Me drinking, cuz. I don't even drink, cuz. Hold on.
You're supposed to have a chaser.
Appreciate everybody popping out for my birthday, you know what I'm saying?
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
We came deep and fuck for my birthday, man. Everybody coming out to stare. No cap, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We deep as hell. We deep as hell. 20 deep. Lit everywhere we go.
Now, some people are saying that this Alicia chick was actually in that last video that played right there, where he was like, I don't even do this, happy birthday to me. They was all saying cheers. But the internet is saying that this chick right here is Alicia, and that she was moving around with Julio the night that all of this went down. And this idea that she may have been dropping his location to the people that took his life was further backed up when the police, during their press conference, said that the shooters have been following Julio around from place to place throughout the night. When he was at the pool party, they was outside. When he was at the club, they was outside. When he pulled up to the hotel, they was waiting on him. The police said that they followed him around throughout the night.
Jones was in town celebrating his birthday and posted on his social media his locations several times throughout that night. Surveillance video was critical in this investigation, as suspects were seen on video following Jones from location to location. This shows the lengths that these individuals were willing to go through and achieve that this murder would occur. At 4:15 in the morning, Jones began to head to a hotel on McKinley. One of the suspect vehicles is seen following the victim. However, instead of following them into a parking lot, they stage across the street. At 4:38, 3 shooters exit a vehicle and walked in the direction of the hotel. They murdered Jones with a handgun and 2 rifles. This barrage of gunfire also struck 3 additional victims who miraculously survived this incident.
So that's what we know about the Murphys and about the chick and about Gutta Zay. Now, the next person that was involved in this was a dude named Sean Gathright, and not a lot is known about this guy other than the fact that he was recently arrested and charged with the shooting incident that took place in Oxford, Mississippi back in May of 2023. And we know that in this Julio situation, there were 3 shooters. One of those people was Sean Gathright. The other 2 were the Murphys. And we know that because the police said that in their press conference, and they also revealed how they were able to link these guys to the hit. And they basically said that these guys were so dumb that they did this in their personal vehicles. So they had video footage of the license plates from the car, and they were able to link that back to these guys.
The investigation would later reveal that the 3 armed shooters were Sean Gathright, Rashard Murphy, and Davion Murphy. Detectives used footage from the scene, license plate readers, and phone logs to identify 2 vehicles and link them back to the suspects.
Yeah, bro. So these guys are basically cooked. It's over with for them. The police seem to think that they have the right people in custody. They even hinted that there may be more people put in custody, but so far 4 of the 5 people have been arrested. We watched body cam footage come out of it yesterday. I'm not gonna review it here. Y'all might have seen 1090 Jake download it from the Jacksonville Police YouTube channel and just repost it on here, so y'all may have already seen the body cam footage. But after that came out, they actually arrested a 4th suspect in this. So far, Alicia is in custody, Gutta Zay is in custody, Sean Gathright is in custody, and Rashard Murphy is in custody. Davion is still free, but the police say they are closing in on him.
Sure. So we have some new video where we actually saw the arrest. Someone also sent us some video where we can hear the police saying, Rashad, we know you're in there. Right. You have said that you're not going to tolerate any foolishness, that you want the streets to be safe. So this is a big arrest for you this morning.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. What the big thing about it is these are 5 people that live in our community that can no longer harm anyone else, which is very, very important. That's what we strive for, right? We strive for the peace and safety of our communities. And I think this is a big event for us because these, as we go further, we're going to look into their lives and see what they've been up to completely. And I'm sure we'll be able to turn up some things that show us that we have the right people in custody to make sure that we keep them in custody and stop them from causing trouble on our streets.
Right. You said 5. There's one more out there.
That's
you believe
correct.
You're closing in on him as well?
Yes.
Now, they caught bro at his house. Why on earth he was at his registered home address when he knew the police was looking for him is beyond me, but they got him and there's only one of these guys left. But yeah, man, that's basically it for the story and everything we know about the people who took out Julio Foolio. Anyways, that's it for the video, guys. If you enjoyed the content, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, tap the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a video. As always, it's been fun rocking with y'all, man. I'm out.